Its praises have been sung the world over. The 12th century bridge at Avignon. 200 years after the bridge was built, the city on the banks of the River Rhône became the centre of Christianity. Amid wars and political intrigue, the seat of the papacy was moved from Rome to Avignon.
The first was Clement V, starting in 1305, and there were 6 more popes after him. In all, there were 7, until 1376, when the papacy returned to Rome.
At the time, all of Avignon was a construction site. With its towers and gateways, the monumental ramparts that still surround the city were constructed to protect the popes. The Papal Palace was erected in just 20 years. It's the biggest Gothic building in Europe. It was designed and decorated by the best craftsmen and artists of the day. The popes brought prosperity to Avignon.
When the popes arrived near the beginning of the 14th century, this town had about 6,000 inhabitants. All at once, the population grew to 36,000. That actually transformed the town's history.
Many of the magnificent features of the palace have been well preserved. Some, though, have survived only in pieces, like these fragments of glass and tiles. During the French Revolution in the late 18th century, the papal residence was looted. But some of the frescoes were left untouched, like these in the Chapel of St. John. Avignon is considered one of the most attractive cities in France. With a population of 95,000, its size is manageable. If you're visiting, make sure you have plenty of time, because there's lots to discover. On a lane off the Rue de la République, you'll find the Angladon Museum, a small mansion that houses some great treasures. They were bequeathed by a Paris collector and patron of the arts.
We have here the legacy of the great fashion designer, collector, and patron of the arts, Jacques Doucet. He was an extraordinary collector. Very early on, when he was just 21, he discovered the Impressionists and admired painters such as Degas and Monet. It's thanks to him that we have these exceptional pictures in our collection.
Paintings by Vincent van Gogh, Paul Cézanne, and Amadeo Modigliani are among the works Doucet left. He also left early paintings by Pablo Picasso, like this one from 1904 from the artist's Blue period, as well as later works. There's also a self-portrait, Picasso at the age of 23. Jacques Doucet had a key influence on the fashions of Parisian high society during the Belle Époque. He also designed theatrical costumes, seen in these pictures by the famed photographer Félix Nadar. Haute couture made Doucet rich. He spent his money on artifacts and art. In the Angladon Museum, you can get an impression of how he furnished his private rooms. You'll notice that he owned artworks that now grace the world's most prestigious museums. He even acquired Picasso's famous 1907 oil painting, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. It was later acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in New York.
The painting was already 7 years old. Picasso had stashed it away in his studio in Paris. At the collector's request, Picasso took it out again and sold it for the fairly modest sum of 25,000 francs to Jacques Doucet.
Picasso returned to Avignon several times after 1914. 2 years previously, he spent the summer nearby, in Sorgues. Fans of the artist might want to visit the village to see the house he lived in briefly, Les Clochettes. And on the facade of the village restaurant, there's a mural showing Picasso as he's best remembered, in a blue and white striped fisherman's shirt.